This is the Herd Line News.
It's been such an odd NFL season, but I think the most peculiar part for me has been all of the support that I've levied for Cleveland and the Cleveland Browns all season from the very beginning. And now I find myself defending them again. It's like remarkable.
You know the dysfunction there.
Oh.
It's a running joke.
I'm from Pittsburgh. Like that's what it is. The Browns aren't even considered a real organization.
You know what this reminds me of? Remember when the Clippers had an inch of success with Lob City? And you would have thought, and the Lakers are cross town, and the Lakers are like, you want a playoff series?
Well, you know what it is with Cleveland? I feel like for the first time outside of the quarterback, people really feel like they have talent.
Well, so's Jacksonville.
But it feels different than Jacksonville. Like, I never bought into Jacksonville because it didn't have a quarterback. I never bought into Blake Bortles.
Maybe I don't buy into Cleveland.
Well, we know how you feel about Baker. All right, so the playoff field is set now, and the updated Super Bowl odds have been released. And the Saints lead the way as the favorites, followed by the Chiefs, Rams, and the Patriots. We got the Bears in there with 9-1 odds as well.
That seems about right to me.
Yeah. Well,
I think they have the Rams overvalued.
You sold all of your Rams stock.
I didn't sell all of it. I sold.
I think you sold all of it.
I sold a lot of my Ram stock. I still kept a little in my portfolio. Okay. I bought more. Even after the Chargers lost to the Ravens, everybody bailed on the Chargers. And I'm like, time out. Fundamentally, nothing changed for the Chargers. They're still a really good team. The Chargers, I contend, are still today better than the Rams. I really believe just because they lost to a really good Baltimore team by a field goal, like I have to sell all my Charger stock?
No, you don't think you should sell any of your Charger stock. I just personally, I don't know what it is with the Chargers. I just can't trust them.
I get it. No, history says you shouldn't trust them.
I know, and I can't do that. But I do like the Saints. The wild card schedule this weekend is Indianapolis and Houston, Seattle and Dallas. And then on Sunday, it's the Chargers in Baltimore and Philadelphia and Chicago. And it's going to be an interesting weekend for sure. But I do like the Saints being favored. I mean, I feel like towards the end of the season, we kind of came down off of the Saints buzz. And it feels like the Chiefs kind of finished with more of the momentum.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Drew Brees has just been playing out of his mind this year.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of chapters in the Steelers dysfunction book this year. And the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette reported that Antonio Brown basically skipped practice, which prompted the team to fabricate an injury report to cover for his absence, as we know. And then he showed up Sunday with the goal of playing, and he didn't. And obviously that suggests that they are at the point of no return with Antonio Brown, which is insane because he's widely considered the best receiver in the league.
And receivers have never been more valuable than today.
Right. So he's got a contract, obviously, that makes things very complicated. And there's really not too much the Steelers can do based on that contract without taking a massive cap hit. So the Steelers would have to carry $21 million in dead money if they cut or trade Antonio Brown. They could release him in March with a post-June 1st designation, which would result in $7 million counting against the 2019 cap hit and $14 million counting against the 2020 hit. So they're really in a horrible situation financially with Antonio Brown because of his contract. So I don't know what they can do.
Well, I think you have to be grown-ups and you have to sit down, and 30-year-old Antonio Brown has to be a man, not a child, and say, I was petulant, I was immature, I apologize for throwing objects at other adults, and I'm sorry for putting myself above the team. This is about personal responsibility. It's not. I'm tired of everybody. Listen, I've been critical of Mike Tomlin. This is not on Mike Tomlin. And by the way, Big Ben is a lot of drama.
90% of the situation is Antonio Brown's fault.
Yes.
But I can't let Mike Tomlin off the hook in this situation. You are the leader.
Yes.
You are the coach.
Yes.
You have a ton of wiggle room with that organization. The organization backs you and trusts you. It's consistent. It's not a dysfunctional organization at the top. You have to create an environment where this is not acceptable behavior, where you have a fear as a player of doing something that's not only going to damage your reputation, the team's reputation. Like, there's a pride thing here that I feel like is lacking with the Steelers. You're a Pittsburgh Steeler. You're an elite player for the Pittsburgh Steelers. That should matter to you because this is an embarrassment.
No, I mean,
you're not in the playoffs. What did you do? You had an amazing season and you're sitting at home. So what did it matter? What did you accomplish? Nothing.
Yeah, we'll talk more about this. It's personal for you because you're from Pittsburgh.
I mean, it just bothers me. Like it's a colossal disappointment. Finally, You talked a little bit about this a few minutes ago. James Harden. So Chris Paul is injured, and Harden's put the team on his back as of late, and he is on a historic pace. He finished 2018 in style, 43 points, 10 rebounds, 13 assists with the last night's win over the Grizzlies.
Amazing.
That made him the first NBA player to notch at least 35 points and 5 assists in 8 straight games.
Oh, my God, numbers.
Which was a mark he shared with Oscar Robertson.
Yes.
But the most remarkable stat from last night is that he scored 43 points on 8 made field goals.
Yeah. How many turnovers?
Which makes him the first player in NBA history to score over 40 on 8 or fewer makes. And it's the 8th time in his career he's done that. Well, he scored 40 or more on 10 or fewer field goals.
That's the most numbers you've ever said in 30 seconds.
Because it's so many numbers. Like, he might go down as the greatest offensive player in NBA history. And I don't even put that much stock in James Harden in the postseason. But the numbers that he's putting up are incredible. You can't deny that.
I don't like numbers. I was bad at math.
I'm bad at math too.
My checkbook's a mess. I don't like numbers. You just went numbers on me.
You should get an accountant for that.
You should have literally grabbed a phone book and started reading numbers. I'm like, Joy.
These numbers are crazy, though.
You're an emotional person. You emote.
I do emote.
And you just went numbers on me.
Because here's the thing about James Harden. Normally, I emote about James Harden because I don't trust him in the postseason either.
Thank you.
However, I'm at a conflict because you always bring it back to LeBron James, and I feel like everybody can't be LeBron James.
That's true.
So I feel like we hold everyone to that standard. That's not fair.
You know, that reminds me of my New Year's resolution in reality, which is I need to be nicer to LeBron.
Yeah, I saw you tweeted that.
I've been so critical of him.
I disagree with you there. I think you're very balanced.
Okay, Joy with the news.
Well, that's the news.
And thanks for stopping by.
The